Bendice, Señor.
Bendice, Señor.
Gracias
Gracias
por este día.
por este día,
Gracias porque nos da.
por lo que
por lo que
nos
nos das,
das.
por lo que nos das.
Amén.
Amén. ¿Y amén?
Gracias, Pablo.
Gracias, mi amor lindo. Ahora sí, a comer.
At Linde, we avoid harming people and know that your family is what matters.
Las vas a decir todas.
Yo ya arranco para el trabajo porque ya estoy sobre la...
That's why, as you leave home in the morning, we want you to come back home safe.
Me llamas, por favor. Nos vemos en la tarde. Y chao, papito, que Dios te bendiga.
The manual handling of cylinders is the transport or hauling of these elements by one or more workers. This involves muscle strength or an effort to pick up, bring down, move, push, pull, haul, carry, or hold the bottle. Human effort may be direct or indirectly applied to the operation. A great deal of incidents related to the handling of cylinders are caused by musculoskeletal type disabilities, due to poor techniques which generate overstraining when picking up even the smallest cylinders. The manual handling of cylinders program will feature the good manipulation practices and the elements aimed at reducing unsafe behaviors and conditions for this operation. The mechanical aids are the safest methods to move cylinders, which should be used when having a good number of cylinders or individual bottles that need to be moved over long distances. However, when moving a cylinder for less than 6 meters along a flat surface, the manual edge rolling is allowed. Among the bottles being used, we have cylinders that contain high-pressure gases, liquid and dissolved gases, and the thermos that contain cryogenic liquid. These may present considerable risks to people or places when manipulated incorrectly. It is recommended that the loading and unloading of cylinders from vehicles be performed by 2 people so that one person manipulates the bottle and the other secures the load. In case this operation is performed by only one person, control must be put in place to secure cylinders and avoid loose ones. Preparing the load. In order to perform the handling of cylinders, you need to wear at least the following personal protective equipment: earplugs, safety goggles, boots, and gloves. In addition, if you are to load or unload vehicles, you must wear a safety helmet. For any movement that requires squatting, the operator must bend his legs. Keep the back straight and a tight abdomen. As you stand up, do the movement from the legs. Avoid handling or opening the container without bending your legs or straining your back. Before moving cylinders, open the destination container, starting with the lower lid, in such a way that when pushing the cylinders you can lift the bar with one hand and proceed with the loading. Every time you take a cylinder out from the cradle, verify that it has the bar latched to avoid the fall of other cylinders. To unload the cylinders from the cradle, ask your partner to help you hold them as you take out the one you need. Loading and unloading onto lifting platform. The bottles are taken onto the lifting platform where one worker holds them by the rail of the vehicle's platform, and when the load is finished, he secures them, walks away from the platform, lowers the load, and uses the platform as a step. He gets off the vehicle and completes the activity. Remember never to operate the controls from the platform. When loading, remember to edge roll the cylinder, leading it with one hand on the cap and with the other pushing the cylinder body. Chain them before raising the platform. Loading and unloading industrial and medicinal thermos. The thermos is hauled by 2 workers to the vehicle's platform using the thermos cart, and always with the back straight and pushing with the legs. The cart is placed along the platform to avoid falls. It is then lifted to the vehicle. Once there, the thermos is moved to the bed hall. Leaving it as close as possible to the cubicle. It is then downloaded, positioned, and locked. It is recommended to use 2 workers in the hauling of thermos, as well as using the cart or thermos wheelbase to avoid improper movements due to its weight and size. For the unloading, remember to do it with a partner and use the thermos cart. In the event a vehicle does not have its own platform, the bottles are moved to the on-site fixed platform. They are then placed on the wheelbase, always with the help from a partner. As you lower the load, you should grab the handrail securing the thermos. Once on the ground, they are moved to the proper location. The loading to a vehicle with its own lifting platform is performed with a partner's assistance. The racing begins while workers hold on to both an anchoring point and the thermos. Once at bed level, the bottle is taken to its cubicle and then locked. Loading and unloading to cradles inside vehicles. The load is unlocked and then moved along the vehicle's bed, edge rolling them to be handed to the other crew member so that the cylinder is placed on the container. Once full, the forklift will lower it. This procedure will be repeated when loading the vehicle as well. Remember to secure the cylinder with a sling. Loading and unloading to on-site platform. There are 2 ways to do the loading and unloading to vehicles from on-site platforms. One is when the vehicle's platform is lower, and the other is when both platforms are even. For loading cylinders from the on-site platform, you start by selecting the bottle. It is taken out and the cradle is locked before moving to the edge of the platform. Once on the rubber edge, the cylinder is taken by its cap with both hands. It is pulled to the worker's body with his back straight, and the cylinder is then loaded by the rubber edge trim to the vehicle's platform. Then it's edge rolled to its corresponding cubicle, locking it afterwards. When the vehicle's platform is at the same level of the on-site platform, cylinders are moved in a straight line with full control and concentration as they're taken to the cubicles. When handling cylinders with integrated lift valve, workers are to use the gap for that purpose and making sure to take only 1 cylinder per hand. Move safely and with control to the proper location. In the handling of portable cylinders, do not grab it by the valve. Always do it from the body using both hands, moving safely and with control along the platform and the truck bed. Loading and unloading along vehicle rubber edge trim onto switch yards. For those vehicles that don't have their own lifting platform and unloading must be performed to ground level, the following must be considered. This activity only applies to cylinders and never to thermos for its weight and size. Make sure the cap is well secured. Push the cylinder along the bed to the edge, grabbing the cap with both hands, leaning the cylinder towards you, making sure the back is straight. Slowly slide the cylinder by the rubber edge trim, using your legs as support and landing it on the rubber pad placed on the ground to avoid any impact. Hand the cylinder over to your partner who will take it to the designated spot. For smaller cylinders, perform the activity without using the rubber edge. The worker edge rolls the cylinder up to the hauling bed edge. Once there, You hand the cylinder to your partner who will take it to the designated location. Cylinder sorting per condition after unloading. The vehicle crew ends the loading, handing over the cylinders to the sorting personnel so that the classification can be made according to cylinder condition. When sorting each cylinder, the worker must verify the spots established in order to grade the cylinder condition, either to move it to the filling section or to maintenance. The sorting worker must have total control of the cylinder, holding it by the cap to move it during inspection. Make sure to keep cylinders together in a honeycomb fashion or sitting side by side when outside the cradle. Once approved, you must take it to the corresponding container where there are other cylinders with the same sorting conditions, making sure that the end cradle has a detention system such as the bar. This must be lifted to finish placing the cylinder safely. In the inspection performed by the sorting personnel in the classification of cylinders with the live integrated valve, care must be taken by grabbing the cylinder by its body to take it to the press bench to do the corresponding testing, always using the press to hold the cylinder. Movement to cradle or cylinder trolleys. When there is the need to move a cylinder more than 6 meters, you must use a mechanical aid such as the cylinder trolley, in which you must make sure the cylinders stay secure to proceed with transportation. Considering traffic flow, forklifts, or people passing by. It is recommended to do this type of cylinder movement with mechanical aids such as trolleys and thermos carts when hauling them over long distances. Cylinder movement for filling of carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and acetylene. The filling staff performs the manual handling operation of cylinders to do the filling of medicinal and industrial carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and acetylene. For all three cases, care must be taken when performing the operation of cylinders by wearing earplugs, safety goggles, and gloves. The cylinder transportation must be individually and making sure to secure them once the operation is completed. Movement of cryogenic cylinders to be filled up. When moving the cryogenic cylinders along the filling area, it is advisable to check the floor conditions where the move is to take place in order to avoid tripping or falling, and check the good condition of the mechanical aid to be used, that is, carts and wheelbases. The cryogenic cylinders must be taken to the filling station, and when done, the same procedure is performed to haul the cylinders over to the finished product area.
¡Llegó! Ahí va el papito, mi amor.
Hola, bebé, ¿cómo estás? Hola, amor. ¿Cómo estás?
¿Le bien, papito?
¿Cómo te fue en el colegio, papi? Ah, bueno. Hola, papá. ¿Qué haces?
Bueno, mi amor, ¿cómo te fue?
Bien, gracias a Dios.
Ah, bueno, mi vida, menos mal. Mucho trancón.
We've made it. You've followed all our recommendations, rules, and procedures, and that's why you've come home safe and sound.
Muestra al papá lo que has hecho. Pregúntale cómo le fue en el trabajo.
¿Cómo te fue en el trabajo?
For me and my family, I choose 0 incidents and 0 injuries.